Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review for Captain America issue 25. And I really enjoyed this issue with everything that they had in it, focusing both on Steve and on Sam. So, in the beginning, we kind of saw this weird thing of, like, AI Tony trying to blow out this candle on a birthday cake. It's like, okay. And seeing it being AI Tony in the original Iron Man armor was like, okay. Interesting. We'll have to see where this kind of stuff's going. So then we got into this being brought up into two speeches. We see Steve's first, and he's talking about Hydra bringing order and authority back into the world, and him focusing on two rogue states, New Tian for the mutants, and of course T'Challa for Wakanda. And of course he's saying that their leaders have been destabilizing the world, and he's like, hail Hydra to go after them and fight them. So the first part we see is, of course, their assault on New Tian. And, of course, we see, like, Kraken and Hive and Viper going in there first and fighting mutants because they assume they're going after their leader, Zorn. And one issue I had in this scene was that Beast was not really well drawn at all. I had an inkling that it was Beast, but until someone, like, verified in it that it was Beast, I was like, okay, he looks really weird. So, of course, the mutants guarding Zorn are thinking they're after Zorn, and then, of course, no, we're here for the real leader, and, of course, Emma Frost shows herself. Pretty much parlays with them, saying, alright, me and my delegation will go to DC to Steve Rogers with what he wants, but no mutants will kneel. If you're going after that, I'll unleash Zorn, my puppet, on you guys. So it's like, okay, crap. So then we go and we focus on their assault on Wakanda. We see T'Challa giving it to him pretty good, actually, and fighting them off pretty well, taking out the dreadnoughts and everything. But then his dude at the command console's like, I can't do this. What's going on? And of course, we learn that Dr. Faustus and the rest of his people come in, and he has taken pretty much control of almost all of T'Challa's army. And of course, Baron Zemo comes in as well, pretty much has T'Challa at sword point and say, you know what, if you don't surrender right now, we'll just have all of your people under our control kill themselves. So that way you have even less of a people to rule. It's like, shit. And of course, we see that pisses off T'Challa. He's defeated at the moment when he's like, I'm gonna get you back. So then we get to Sam, and his speech was really well done. It really showcased why he is a good Captain America, and just showcased Sam Wilson's character as well. And I know we've seen that a lot coming from, like, previous issues for Sam Wilson's run, but they really hit it out of the park with this one, because he just goes on a speech that the regular Steve Rogers would do, saying that, yeah, we've made mistakes. He calls upon us of, like, fighting amongst ourselves and forgetting about people and just flying over the ground and missing it. Like, I like that because, of course, he's flown over the ground as the Falcon, and just showing that the heroes themselves have kind of lost touch with what's been going on and just fighting amongst themselves and just focusing on stupid shit. And then going in and saying, you know what? I still see us as the heroes that we are. We're the people that stood up against Galactus, the Skrulls, all of this. And we can do what's right. And then he starts going into New Attilan and talking about the Inhumans being processed. And you're like, you know what? I'm going to go help those people. I don't even care if I'm going to die. I'm in it for the fight. And I want to know who's with me. Who wants to be their Avengers. And it was really cool seeing that. And everybody kind of get really inspired by that. And, of course, they go off and they're pretty much getting ready for a hard fight, and they get a good surprise in that a riot's pretty much already broken out, and just see them go in and be heroes was really cool. Especially calling back to, like, one of the Avengers issues when they were doing, like, Rikers Island, and that brought together a new team of Avengers. It was, like, really cool to see that. So, of course, they helped the Inhumans there. He's talking with their leader, and be like, yeah, well, we were able to do it because of Barf. And they're like, what? This is where it kind of took a left turn, and I'm like, what the hell? What's going on with this? And, because I got, like, Bartholomew, Spaceballs, what the hell? And evidently there was an Inhuman that had the power to, if he could visualize and think of something, he could barf it up. And, of course, AI Tony's there and be like, I'm already ahead of you, Sam. And then he like shows him a picture of a fragment of the cosmic cube, and he barfs it up, and they've got it. It's like, okay, that's interesting. And even though that's kind of weird, it does get us to some interesting parts, because they then go back to like their base, and we see the birthday cake and the significance of it. Because Tony's going, you know what? There's things I've been thinking about. And he goes into like Ulysses being usually 99% right with his visions. The only one was with Steve Rogers and Miles Morales' Spider-Man. Him not killing Steve Rogers. And he's like zoomed in on the picture, and we see that there's a bluish tinge around one of Steve's hands, and that's like a cosmic cube. He's like, oh, here's a cosmic cube fragment. It might bend probability and stuff. And that's how Tony got the cake. And of course he did other experiments to try and figure out if it could turn him into a real boy. Of course it didn't. So he's like theorizing, hey, these have charges and everything. We can get enough together. We can change the probability of like battles and all that. So we can go and hit Hydra. And they're like, all right, cool. But we're going to need allies to do this kind of stuff. Then of course we see Namor being pissed off about everything and talking to the one dude that we've seen that's been kind of like following him around as a bodyguard. And he's like telling him, I told you appeasement wouldn't work with Steve. And he's like, you would notice that you're his dearest friend. And of course, we get the reveal that it's Bucky, that Namor has rescued Bucky from the supposed death trap. I kind of knew that was coming, but it was good to have that kind of confirmation and to see Bucky kind of in the fight and seeing what he's going to be trying to do strategically to take down Steve as well. So I was really happy with this issue, with just some weird turns with like Beast's art and of course the Inhuman that can barf up things. But other than that, I really like kind of where this was setting up to changing what's going on with Secret Empire and where the conclusions will like fall out. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.